Hi, and welcome to Conan Exiles, Age of Calamitous. In this video, I'm going to show you the spawn locations for the Elvanor and the Order of Felgarth faction Thralls. Always remember that in a faction, all the melee fighters will have the same attributes and growth chances regardless of their tiers. The same goes with the ranged Thralls in a particular faction. They will only differ in the base HP, HP per vitality, damage multipliers, and the perks as they level up. For the magical factions of Elvanor and the Order of Felgarth, here are their base stats. In this video, we will only be focusing on the high-level Thralls of each faction. First, the T6 for the Elvanor and the Felgarth factions, Magister for the Elvanor, and Shaman for the Order of Felgarth. Starting HP of 5,600, damage multiplier, melee 1.98, range 3.66. The next tier, Magus for the T7 for Elvanor, and Magister for the tier 7 for the Order of Felgarth. Starting HP of 6,250, damage multiplier melee 2.14, range 4.34. Now for the T8 for both factions, High Magister for the Elvanor and Druid for the Order of Felgarth. Starting HP of 7,000, damage multiplier melee 2.48 and ranged 5.04. And T9, the highest for all the factions. For the Elvanor, we have the High Magus and Elder for the Order of Felgarth. Starting HP of 8,200, damage multiplier for melee 2.70 and ranged 6.40. Alright, let's go to the first location. It's in H6, just right outside of the arena. So there should be a Felgarth and an Elvanor minicamp here. So we have an Elvanor farmer that's a professional Thrall, an Acolyte T2. And then we have two T1s, Novitiate for Elvanor. And just right by the entrance to the arena, we have Felgarth. That's a T1 Novitiate. And a T2 for Felgarth. And we have a worker Thrall. A cook this time, and then T1 and another T1 for the Felgarth order. So in this place, you're going to expect T1s and T2s only, and then one worker or profession Thrall for each faction. Okay, so to the next location where you can find T6 to T9 spawn points already, and at the same time, you can also have crafter Thralls from both factions. So this is in C12, and just right outside of the camp, you will see two T5 Felgarth mages. And then in this camp, a total of 10 T5s for Felgarth and Elvanor. And then there should be two spawn points for T6 to T9. Now, this camp is not naturally aggressive, but because of the Child of Zephyrus, this guy right here, it is the reason why they will attack you. So if you can pull him first and make the camp, just go calm for a while and then you come back, they're not going to aggro anymore. So this is one of the spots for the T9 or T6 to T9, and then that's another one. And then this is a spot where you can find crafter Thralls for Felgarth and Elvanor. So this is where I usually get keepers if you're looking for one. As a matter of fact, I was able to capture a named Thrall the last time I came here, and I was able to record it. So if you want to see the video, I will put that link in the description below. The next location is already in the Unnamed City. This is a great camp for getting crafters, because there's one right at the entrance, and they're pretty much spread out enough that you can only pull one or a small group at a time, and you can avoid everyone being aggroed. So you have to be careful, because there are a total of 9 T5 fighters in here. So there we go. That's an alchemist, that's a crafter Thrall, and then you have T5s walking around, and then some of them are just staying in their post, but a total of 9 nonetheless. And then you have potential T6 to T9 2 spawn points in the Archivist, and then this is also the same place that you can learn the map room if you talk to that guy right there, like a ghostly figure. So usually the T6 and T9 are walking around. They're not the ones standing in posts. So as you can see, the ones standing in their post are the Guardians or the T5. So you have a Magus here. And the elderly looking guy, that's a Shaman. And we have a T5, a Mage for the Felgarth order. You can also see a lot of mages from the Elvanor faction. Those are all T5. So if you're going to hunt Thralls in this area, you have to make sure that you come prepared so that you're not going to die. And the last location where you can find Elvanor and Felgarth camps is in the southern part of the Unnamed City. It's accessible through the entrance by the warfront right next to the Stormhold raid camp. Stormhold raid camp right there. There's a small bridge here guarded by the Covenant archers. Just go follow the path. And go to the right. At the end of the path, you will see a platform where you can find the Elvanor camp. There we go, T5s. And then the 3 spawn points in the center right here. You will see some T6 to T9. And then in the middle, you will have a Crafter Thrall. This time we have a Jeweler. And we have High Magisters for the T6 to T9 spawn point. And then right across the bridge here, just right on top of the Stormhold raid camp is the Felgarth camp. So you have an NPC there for your sub-faction quest, and then right next to him are potential T6 to T9 spawn points, surrounded by a lot of T5 Felgarth mages. Now, the good thing about this area is that these two factions are friendly, so you should be able to scout for a very good tier like a T8 or T9, but knocking them down will be a different story. And that is all for this guide, and I hope you guys find it helpful. If you do, please leave a like and smash that subscribe button for fresh tips and tricks for Conan Exiles Age of Calamitous. You can also leave a comment below for requests of guides and walkthroughs that you want us to cover, or any recommendations on how we can make our content better in our future videos. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.